Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Lovely J Podcast. This is Coco. I'm just waking up and wash my face. You know what? I washed my face this morning and I patted it while the cold water was on. I don't wash my face with warm or hot water. I only use cold water. That was something that God told me. I was Sunday school bus driver. Back in the day, no, van driver. Back in the day when we were going to Sunday school as kids, we wondered how did he keep his skin so, I don't know, he didn't have wrinkles. He had like the acne and things, but he didn't have wrinkles. And he was an older man, and he said he uses cold water on his skin. So ever since then, I have been using cold water. His name was Skintmo. We used to call him Skintmo. He was the one who told me that, and ever since then, he told a group of us that. And ever since then, I've always used cold water, and it feels good. It wakes you up. But this morning, I didn't just put the cold water on, but I patted my skin with it, and I patted it where it actually went into the pores of my skin, and that feels amazing. If you have not tried to do that, try it. Let me know what you think about it, because, yeah, that was just amazing. Okay, so what's on the agenda for today? We're going to have some, wait a minute, where's my diabetic thing at? I need my thing. I need to see what the breakfast options are for today. I've got to stock back up on eggs, y'all, because like I said yesterday, somebody came in here and they busted up all of my eggs. They spit on my egg carton, the top of it. I mean, a whole mess. Don't ask me who the somebodies are, because y'all know I am on that list, so I don't even know who the somebody is. I just know it wasn't like that when I went to sleep. And like earlier when I went to the bathroom, they had threw tissue on the floor. So, you know, I'm going to let God handle those people, because in due time, I will get to testify against them. It's gonna be some payback. God is going to do what he got to do. But meanwhile, let us mind our business and see what I can find to eat here on today's list. Okay, so a diabetic breakfast. They got breakfast sausage patties, asparagus, and bok choy. I've never tried that. I did the avocado toast with bacon and tomato yesterday. I didn't put the tomato on it, though. It says a power parfait. And that's with yogurt. You know what? I have a yogurt. Ginger infused oatmeal guacamole with carrot and celery sticks, breakfast pizza. Okay, so I don't have some of these things. But I would like to start lunch. I tell you what I want to have for lunch. I'm going to just have yogurt, y'all, Greek yogurt, and a protein shake. That's going to give me 30 plus. I want to say 30 plus. How many? Let me grab my yogurt and see how many grams of protein that is. And let me grab my power shake while I'm up. I have some new protein shakes I'm going to be trying too. That's going to be on the TikTok shop. So let's see what I got going on here. Maybe if I get a little hungry later, for lunch, I'll have a slice of cheese toast and maybe some, I don't know, the choices here, it says chickpeas. I want to do some chickpeas. I haven't had chickpeas in a while. I used to do the chickpea patties. That's what I used to do. The patties. Got my Greek yogurt here. If you like salmon patties, but for some reason you have become allergic to them, try chickpea patties. They are the next best thing. Mix it with an egg and some stuffing, a box of stuffing, and you will feel like you are eating a salmon patty. because I had to learn 20 years ago how to make the foods I used to love that was seafood, how to make them taste like seafood without it being seafood. Alternatives. My ex used to make he came in and he made salmon patties different from my mama. He came in and he made like a salmon patty burger. That mug was big, it was thick, it was juicy. He came in, he did it like restaurant style. And he fixed it like a burger. And that was the best salmon patty that I had outside of my mama and daddy's. I can't eat them now though, but back then, yeah, that was good. Okay, so my yogurt is going to be 13 grams of protein, and my protein drink is 30 grams of protein. I'm going to go for lunch with the carrot chickpea stew with roasted vegetables. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a stew. Well, it could be. I would have to throw some other ingredients in here for the things I don't have. I have garlic, I have onions, I have olive oil. Maybe I'll make it into a chickpea stir fry for my lunch. And we're going to set our timer to have lunch, a late lunch. We're going to do a late lunch around... trying to eat this yogurt and talk is not working. It just makes me swallow hard. We're going to do our lunch because I'm eating now, 11, 12. We're going to do a lunch around 1 o'clock. Okay? I'm going to put that into the calendar so that it lets me know. And ever since we'll start cooking it at 1. Ever since I've been, just logging what I eat and things and putting the timer on, I'm able to go ahead and make myself eat something versus, not trying to eat because of, how grief is. Grief don't want you to eat. Sometimes it don't, but I'm taking back my days. Okay, so at 1 o'clock, I will cook lunch, which is going to be, let me put that in there, a chickpea stir fry. Chickpea stir fry. With onions and I have not kale. What is it? It's not kale, it's the other green stuff. It's not kale. Spinach. That's what it is. It's not kale, but it's spinach. Got that programmed in. Now I'm just gonna have me some. Okay. Now on to the cleaning book. The 80H planner. Let's see what we're supposed to be cleaning today. I know what needs cleaning today. This counter and this table before it gets worse. So today is Tuesday. Oh, yay. It says living room area, which that is an area I am going to be working in today. Vacuum and mop floor, clean electronics, dust and white furniture. I have my duster over here. But y'all, my living room floor is full because me and my granddaughter, last night she came up and she did some work for me. Putting up the wall stickers, and it looks totally different. Y'all, if you do not have wall stickers, if you don't want to do painting, if you don't want to paint for whatever reason, and you just want a quick and easy way to change your living room, your bedroom, or, whatever room, your focus area, get the wall stickers. Because all you do, they're like these big giant stickers. They come like 18 in a pack. And one pack can fill up almost a whole side of a wall. And I know this wall has got to be every bit over 65 inches. It's probably like maybe 70 something. And it's almost filling it up. So Get the wall stickers. They're on my TikTok shop. Jamie the Advocate. Go to my showcase right now. Jamie the Advocate, and type in wall stickers, and you will see the different types of wall stickers that I have. I'm using the white vintage, and it looks like brick. I think this is going to be the only wall, though, that we put it on in the living room. I don't know. I might get some more. Okay, y'all. Okay, back to what we got to clean. Okay, so I got all my cleaning stuff out. Arrange furniture, organize books, magazines, check lighting. Okay, my lighting is good. I do need to arrange some things on the desk. I do see some papers and pictures that are laying out that need to be hung back up, that previously I had to pull down so she could put the walling up, but now we can put that stuff back up. Yeah. So Tuesday is going to be a beautiful day. And not only that, on Tuesdays is the days when I get my trash ready for the takeout. And my granddaughters come and they get their little chores done. They have little chores here, y'all, that they do. They come and do them every week. Once or twice a week, they'll come and do little chores. And I just do this because I need the help. And I be like, I want to give them something. And it helps them, too, in process to learn how to manage, their little funds. And I don't mind doing that. I tell them all the time. I say, come here, I got something for you to do. And listen, I know y'all saying, well, they supposed to want to do it. They do. They do want to do it. Because I made sure that when them girls were coming up, that they knew that cooking is a privilege. It's a joy. It's a peace of mind to be able to cook for yourself, to know how to cook, to know what flavors you like. That's a beautiful thing in life. And I don't know why we not teaching more of it in the schools and things. Teaching these kids how to be individual. Because I have some that do not like onions, but they will cook with them. And I have the other ones who love onions, but they never cook with them. It's beautiful. I don't know. I just see life as beautiful. I always have. I always have seen life as beautiful little pleasures wrapped in ups and downs. That's why I tell you, don't let nobody bring you down. But yeah, they come through on Tuesdays and do their little chores. So I know I got to get busy today to get some of this stuff boxed up and get it ready to be taken out. What I need to be taken out. So Tuesday is in alignment with what I already need to do. Now, what do I need to do for me? And you need to ask yourself that too sometimes. What do I need to do for me? Not the house, not everybody else, but for me. And what I need to do for me is my hair. Yo, my hair is an absolute... It's a little messy. I don't know. I think I'm going to go for some twist hairstyles today. A simple twist hairstyle. Something simple. Something pretty. Something young looking. I think what's in now is these twists hanging down in the back, and you know what? I don't want it to look fresh. I want it to look like boho. I want it to look like the natural, like I've already worn it for a while. That's how I want it to look, so that it will fit my boho earrings. I love boho style. What else we gotta do today? I got a sink that needs to be cleaned out because I did clean the refrigerator out yesterday and I left the stuff in the sink. Some of the stuff in the sink. So get this yogurt down, protein shake, and get started on my hair. Now, let me tell y'all. I feel so much freer these days. I really do. I truly do. I feel free to to do my home the way I want to do it, to wear my hair the way I want to wear it. Y'all gotta cut this hair off. Happens every time. Let me put that right up here. Hold up, y'all. I got distracted with this little sign. Rollo got all kind of nails up in here. He would put nails up to hang things up. And like right there where I was just at was a clock. I might pull that down though. I don't like that nail up there on either side. Might pull both them nails down. Yeah. But I feel so much freer now to do my home the way I want to do it, to have my own idea of what I want my house to look like. And that's a big thing because for so many years, I was under the pressure of, do I speak up for what I want or do I keep the peace by being quiet? Because sometimes he would do things in my house that I didn't like. And it would be like, I had a brand new home and he had it looking like, and this is no disrespect, but his mom lived in an older mobile home. And all the new features, it was like all the new features I had here was starting to look like old features in a mobile home. So yeah, that, it did a number on me for years because I didn't speak up for myself. But now I feel free. I don't know. That release was good. It was, yeah. It's a freedom that I can't speak. And each day I'm getting stronger in it and stronger in it because I'm not used to this type of freedom from him. And people who have been through narcissistic abuse, you will understand what I'm talking about. But if a person hasn't never been through that type of abuse, then they don't understand recovery. See, recovery does not come all at one time. As much as we would like for recovery in any area of our life to be right then and immediate, that's not always the case. When you're dealing with narcissists, your recovery may span out over a course of years. Not months, but years. There's some things that man or woman done to you that you did not even know you needed to recover from. And it won't show up for years. Most of that trauma happened to me when I was 20 and 30. Now I'm almost 50. And and some of the things are just not showing up into life that I had suppressed or lost out on. And it didn't show up until he passed away. And that is scary because imagine if your narcissist doesn't pass away. How long you still have to carry those hidden truths on the inside. And our brain does it. Our heart does it to protect us. But you don't know that you have this issue until it comes up. Just like I didn't know I had the issue with my house, my home. I did nothing to my home these last 10 years. I don't know if I was just stuck. I was stuck I barely cleaned, barely stayed at home the first few years. I didn't start staying home until 2020 when the pandemic came. That's when I started staying at home. And that's when I recognized that my home was in bad condition. Because I didn't stay here that way. If I stayed on the road, I wouldn't have to deal with memories or I wouldn't have to, be reminded of every little thing that he done. Because his touch is all over this house because I never really changed anything. And by me going out on the road, doing different church events and things, I didn't have to worry about it. It was kind of like out of sight, out of mind. And that worked for so long till that pandemic came. And the pandemic said we had to isolate and stay home. And that's when it started hitting me. Things started hitting me so hard then. I was like, no. I don't want to remember this. But you can't get through if you don't be willing to change something in your life. And I started working on my mind and body then in 2020. But now comes 2025 and he passes away. Now by him passing away, he opens up all this other stuff that was supposedly, been hidden so far down I wouldn't have to deal with it anymore. But I did. I am. And I'm glad that it's coming to the surface so that it don't contaminate my future any longer. Now I'm out here buying rugs. I'm out here doing do-it-yourself projects in my home. Just making little simple changes is making a world of difference. And I'm sitting back thinking, like, why couldn't I have done this like 10 years ago, 5 years ago? That's because that trauma was sitting there in hiding. It was in hiding. That's why I couldn't have done it. That's why they tell us God's timing is the best timing. And I truly believe if I had not learned more about God during those times, during those years, that's where my focus was learning more about God during those years. And now I'm putting what I learned to work to overcome the other parts of this. So when you're in narcissistic recovery, it's not like a 12-step program. Your brain don't step like that. You got to take it by force. You hear me? You got to take your days, your nights, your minutes, your hours, your seconds by force. If you don't take it by force, you might not get the freedom that you so deserved after surviving all that trauma. So on my days now, y'all know I gave myself the time limit to, let my emotions have its way. And so now everything I'm doing, I'm taking it by force because I'm still dealing with the trauma now. I'm dealing with it. I'm not ignoring it, but I'm also telling myself, girl, you're not going to set in it either. You are not going to set in it because that's something that happened in the past. Everything you're dealing with now is past stuff. And the Bible tells us to forget those former things. So if it do got to come up, I got to take today by force. I can't live in the past. He's not here to answer for anything he done. And besides, we forgave each other. So that canceled out all debt. So anything that's coming up right now is things that I would say the devil is trying to distract me on. And in order to get past it, I have to take my days and nights by force. And I have to deal with it. And I deal with it in truth. What's the truth of the situation that keeps playing over and over in my head? And I'm telling y'all and sharing my life story with y'all because I know that there's other people out there that's just like me. There's a whole world of us out there that are sympathetic to people's needs and their feelings. And we get out here and we wear our heart on our sleeves and sometimes we get a little egotistic too, wanting to prove how good we are, and we wave our hand. Not so in real life, but we have the flags on us that say, hey, look at me, I'm here. We want attention too. And because we seek that attention, because we've been abandoned in some areas of our life in the past, it puts us with bad people. Yeah. So that's what I'm in the process of doing, is moving forward. If the trauma come up, I got to deal with it. People who have PTSD or complex PTSD, long-term trauma is what I'm dealing with. You don't recover just like that. Don't even try to force yourself to pretend like nothing happened. Notice what I'm saying. I'm saying take your day, which is the self-control that the Bible talks about. Use your self-control to manage your life. Don't deny your hurt. Deal with it. But use your self-control to know that you're no longer in that situation. Don't let that situation steal from today. You already got through that. But you have to convince your mind and your heart of that we have gotten through that. That's just like my breakup being 10 years ago. And I have to tell myself that you already gotten through that breakup. You have lived 10 years without this man. And what you're feeling now is just things you didn't deal with. Things I didn't deal with. But the reality, and when we bring it back to the truth that sets us free, the truth was I lived these last 10 years a good life. I did. Even with the invisibles bothering me, I still have a beautiful, blessed life. I was out on the road. I was having the time of my life with that little situationship. I mean, I can't say the situationship. The situationship was bad when it ended. How it ended. That's when it really was bad. But for the most part, I was out there having the time of my life. Seeing people, meeting celebrity gospel artists, meeting celebrities, interviewing people. I mean, I got to interview some of the most talented celebrities, local people, local entrepreneurs. I mean, that was the life I always wanted. As a child, I wanted to be a DJ. I wanted to be a writer. I wrote books. I mean, all this in 10 years. So if I actually was to put down all my achievements, God is just amazing. And I achieved this with trauma on the brain. Everything I achieved, that trauma pushed me harder to go do more. So I'm looking at it as all things work for the good of those who love the Lord. And that's a good example of it because that's what it did. I got hurt. Now God shut me off in areas where I couldn't remember this and that. But everything God did, it was for my good. I ain't even mad that I had amnesia. I'm not even mad about that. I thank God that I did. You know what? If the amnesia had not happened, I wouldn't have been able to see the wolves that were in my life. I couldn't have seen it because I was so caught up in everybody else's world that I didn't see myself drowning like that. But when that amnesia happened, it was like getting to know people all over again. And it gave me a different outlook on life. And when I started getting back to know people, I was like, this ain't somebody I want to hang with. I don't like this. You're not going to be part of my future acting like that. So the amnesia woke up a part in me that was responsible, that was caring, that set boundaries, that was spontaneous, that knew how to love. And that was beautiful because the love I was dishing out was really not love. It was a form of love, but true love doesn't keep count of all that right and wrong. True love ain't gonna fight back and forth like that, hurting each other, destroying each other's things. That was that street love, but it wasn't godly love. And the godly love, when it did kick in, I saw my maturity kick in when I said, well, I love you enough that I don't want you to hurt no more underneath my watch. So I'm going to let you go. And if the love would have been strong enough to come back, we would have came back together. But it wasn't. We didn't come back together. So those last 10 years of my life have also been the best 10 years of my life. But you know what? The best is still yet to come. That's why we can't let our past steal our future. And as narcissistic abuse survivors, we have to keep reminding ourselves that those are former things. You got to train your brain over again how to accept what is your new normal. You have to train the brain. The brain only knows what it learns. I was listening to a little podcast earlier, and the guy was like, sometimes you got to write it down over and over till it's embedded in your brain, and not just say it, but you got to write it. Y'all remember when we was in elementary school, and in elementary school, in order to learn how to spell the word, and get ready for the spelling test, your teacher would give you homework assignments where you go home and you write this word over and over 10 times, 20 times. The next week gonna be 30 times. And we had a sheet of words that we had to keep writing over and over and saying over and over until we got it through our brain. That's the same thing we have to do now. We have to keep seeing ourselves in the future. We have to stick with God, stay in the present moment. And when these past moments come up to interrupt our lives, don't shut down. Figure out what it's trying to teach you. Instead of shutting down, learn what this moment is trying to teach you. The moment that I have been having has been teaching me that you do have to accept people for who they are. And you have to stop imagining who you wish they were. And that was my biggest downfall, was that I had such a great imagination that I was imagining bad people as good people. And that's been my biggest lesson in all of this. It's not that the wolves didn't show their teeth and show who they were. It was me. When they showed their teeth and showed me who they was, I treated them with kindness and didn't know how to let it go. And now I'm learning how to let that go. I'm learning how, what you do is what you do. I'm also learning how not to let miss moments. Let me say, not miss moments, but I'm learning how to choose the moments and the people I want to be around. Instead of just going by what traditionally I would do, because I love you, I'm going to come around you, I'm going to support you and all that. But no. Maturity and self-control says, I know this isn't healthy for me. I love y'all. I wish you the best. But being around you is not healthy for me. Sitting around you, watching you, trying to dim my soul, take my soul, beat up on my soul. Don't stick around people like that who try to beat up on your soul. You only get one. You got to protect it. And I found that I would sit up in these family functions and just smile and try to keep the peace and try to be entertaining people. As I got older, I realized it wasn't even worth it. It's not worth it, y'all. Don't lose your soul for this world. It's going to be people that make you feel bad about your no's to their invitation. All invitations aren't good. And I think that's where I'm going with that, is just because somebody invites you somewhere and it may be the norm thing because you're family and you're used to going because you're family. If this family has done so much to you that you are in recovery because of them, come from among them. I had this preacher. He told me for about a year. He said, well, he didn't call me Coco. He called me Jamie. He said, well, Jamie, if they keep doing the same thing over and over, don't you know that's a you problem? You the one got to come from under them. Not them. They been who they always have been. It's you. And I didn't want to admit it, but it was me. I was the one hanging up under them and allowing what was going on. So those are some things to think about as you go throughout your day. And if this trauma rises back up in your life, to know that if it's coming back up, it's because there's still lessons to be learned. And don't be afraid to learn the lesson, even if it means cutting people off. And don't be apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry, but I ain't. No, don't be sorry for not attending an event that was designed to destroy you. Do not be sorry for that. You know that event was going to destroy you. You know that it was going to take you a whole month to recover after you came from whatever it was. It could have been a party. It could have been a church event. Narcissists don't let up. They keep the pressure on your neck so you can't let up. We're going to be doing I'm going to be teaching some Kiva classes coming up, and we're going to be talking about this narcissistic surviving thing, because it's time that we don't just survive, but we put out, we help each other to learn what we're doing to survive, how we're getting by. That's why I like Kiva, because I was able to talk to people and let them know what we need to do as people, as individuals. Because the sooner you realize you are an individual, you might be enmeshed in your family, but you are your own person, and you need to own that. You need to tap into who you are. Because if you don't tap into who you are, there are people out here who will make you who they want you to be. And I'm pretty sure you understand that that is not what you want. You don't want to be, excuse me. You don't want to be somebody else's yes man, somebody's flunky. You want to be able to love your true, authentic, original self that is godlike. Because you are created in the image of God. And anytime you step outside of that image, you're not being yourself. And I wasn't being myself for so many years because I didn't know it was a thing. It's a thing, y'all. It's a thing to be yourself. All right. Y'all, I am finna go because I am going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to do my hair. And like I said about the lunch thing, we'll see. If I do the lunch thing, I'll come back on and let y'all know. And I might just make a big old bowl or something, because I got some sweet potatoes over there that I think would mix good with some chickpeas in a soup. And maybe fry up some tortillas. Oh, man. I'm making myself hungry thinking about it. But peace, love, and happiness. Y'all go be great. Have a great day. Don't hate on nobody. And whatever you do, if you are in narcissistic abuse recovery or any kind of recovery, any 12-step program, know that God is on your side. If you are doing the right thing, you make one step and he gonna make two. All right, I'm out. Oh, don't forget to check out my TikTok shop, Jamie the Advocate. Go to the showcase and get what you need.